Hi, I'm Travis Swartz, here today at Mountain Home Air Force Base. And today I'd like to take you on a journey around the base and its surrounding natural and cultural environments. Now, I know what you're thinking if you're new here to Mountain Home. There are no mountains, just a bunch of vast, open desert. And that's pretty much true. You know, there is, however, an abundance of history in this high desert ecosystem that must be recognized to truly appreciate this area as well. Thousands of years ago, this high desert had much wetter, cooler climate covered with lush forests. Catastrophic geological events reshaped that landscape and changed the climate to what it is today. There's much evidence and stories of different cultures, settlements, and different uses of this area as well. Many artifacts have been found in the high desert dating back many thousands of years. Basque culture, sheep operations, and cattle drives were commonplace after the town of Mountain Home was established. Mountain Home, you should know, was originally called Rattlesnake Station. Rattlesnake Station was a popular stage stop for Overland and Kelton Road travelers. It was also a transfer point for stages going to the South Boise mines after 1870. The station was renamed Mountain Home in 1879, but when the Oregon Short Line arrived in 1883, the name was transferred to the Newtown site 6 miles south of the mountains. I mean, who would want to settle in Rattlesnake Station, right? Go figure. The population in 1890 was 100 and growing. Mountain Home Air Force Base was established in 1942 and was actually built in 3 months. Many bomber crews and pilots trained here for missions in World War II. Evidence of this proud history can still be seen today. The Army Air Forces had been using airspace throughout Idaho for gunnery training, but had cordoned off special areas for bombing practice. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers made several precision bombing ranges in remote areas, and eventually the Sailor Creek bombing range would be opened by the base. In the years after World War II, Mountain Home Air Force Base would host several aircraft wings and missions. In 1950, the base closed and went into inactive status. Then, in 1951, with the creation of the first Special Ops Unit, the CIA reopened the base and ran covert training operations. For years, this part of Mountain Home Air Force Base history had not been known due to the high classification of the mission. In 1959, as an operational SAC bomber base, Mountain Home Air Force Base was chosen to house 3 ICBM missile silo complexes. Each would encompass 35 acres, house 3 Titan missiles, and provide underground living and working quarters. The missile sites were active for a very short time. In November of 1964, the Air Force announced that it would close the 3 missile sites, and by June of 1965, all 3 were shut down. In January 1966, it then switched to attack mission and conducted photographic, visual, radar, and thermal reconnaissance operations. In June 1968, the 67th Tactical Reconnaissance Wing added tactical fighters to the operation. And since that time, the base has transitioned through several support aircraft types and missions. Preserving this history and repairing the lack of environmental stewardship of the past is now more important than ever. You, your fellow airmen, as well as future generations depend on decisions that you make here every single day. An appreciation of the high desert ecosystem, cultural resources, high desert plants and animals, and biodiversity conservation will help everyone become better stewards of the environment. You might think that a desert is just a dry, desolate place devoid of any life. Well, think again.